My final guest is one of our greatest poets and writers, the author of Findings and Surfacing, so she was the perfect person to edit Antlers of Water, the very first collection of new Scottish nature writing. She writes, "The natural world is not a painted backdrop to our human concern. It is our human concern." I am, of course, talking about Kathleen Jamie, but just before she joins me, I braved a very autumnal Edinburgh to meet the Grassmarket Open Book Group. So I'm here in Edinburgh this morning, which is home to Rebus, the Trainspotting gang, and a certain Miss Jean Brodie. But it's not them I'm here to meet. I'm here to talk books with the folk from Grassmarket Open Book Group, and now I'm going to go meet Jess, the facilitator. Hi Jess.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks for braving the weather.
You're welcome.
So tell me about the Grassmarket Open Book Group.
The idea behind the group is that, we're providing a kind of more accessible form of book group where there's no homework, so no one has to read in advance. We're actually positively discouraged from reading in advance or from knowing what we're reading.
I definitely think that for some people there's a bit of guilt involved in their book group. I haven't finished the whole book, or I haven't got to it, I haven't even started it sometimes, and I think I definitely hear from meeting book groups that puts some people off.
I mean, that's the other thing that's so important about what we do at Open Book is that we read everything aloud together in the group, and we usually go round the circle, and there's no pressure to read. If you don't want to read aloud, you don't have to. You can just sit and listen and enjoy the reading. But most of the members of this group really love to read, and they love to have their turn in reading.
The group are going to be reading from Antlers of Water, a collection of Scottish nature writing edited by Kathleen Jamie. And the piece they've selected is Amanda Thompson's Around Some Islands.
He's going to be joining us for our group today.
Thanks for having me.
Hello. Should we kick off? Lawrence, do you want to start with the first paragraph?
This was an unhurried traversal, hours and hours of watching and looking. Fleckit skies, no phones, no internet. Sheer waters skim the waves in black to white to black lines.
On Canna, there's a Celtic cross from around the 8th century, which is broken. So I was told, because it was used for target practice during the Napoleonic Wars. Sailing around Canna towards Mingulay, someone pointed back and spoke of a cave on the west side where the island's boys hid when the press gangs visited.
The rabbits not only affected agriculture on the island, but their burrowing threatened to destroy the archaeological remnants of humans.
The Song of the Whale dropped anchor off the eastern side of the island in the sheltered curve of the bay. From its deck, we looked out onto a sandy beach, a deserted village, and the land rising beyond to a smoothly curved skyline.
Since 1912, when the last inhabitant finally left the island, no one and nothing has stemmed the wear of the weather or the creep of the sand.
Right, what did everybody else think about this essay? Did you enjoy it? Did you have any kind of thoughts or questions that came to your mind when you were reading? Did you relate to it?
It was great when these places were mentioned. I know them, I know the islands, I know Canna, and I know Egg. I've been on Egg, and last year I was out at the Western Isles, which Mingulay's a part of, and it was just beautifully written, and I was so glad actually. We had a great piece to read.
Makes you be there, if that makes any sense. You get transported. The descriptions are quite accurate, and you could almost sort of like smell the peat and see the waves and how the weather is changing perhaps, and it becomes the whole atmosphere. Yeah, you kind of get immersed into it. I like reads like this.
Yeah,
I really do.
I would never have thought of reading some of the books that we have read, and so for me it's expanded my my reading, and I read a lot more books now personally out with the group than I did before I joined.
Yeah, I did as much for the contact at the beginning, but now I've realised that I have got something to bring to discussions about literature and that, and I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of this book, actually, I never would have done that. It's so far out of my comfort zone, but it ain't anymore.
Big confession, I don't actually like audiobooks, but I did love hearing those people reading aloud. There's something magical about stopping and sitting down and listening to a story. And you don't need to join a book group to do it. You can do it at home tonight.